So telemedicine, its implication. To start with, we as doctors, while dealing with our patients in the treatment process, quite often, as a rule rather than exception, are sharing our phone numbers. We used to take their calls regarding different problems in the management issues, and sometimes when we are busy, then instead of phone, we used to share our text messages. These text messages can be in the form of SMS, WhatsApp, or even Facebook these days. This is something that we are doing quite often. But when we talk about telemedicine, the formal training is something we all are lacking. That's why, considering the current scenario of COVID-19 pandemic, the Government of India has a timely guideline that is made on the 25th of March 2020, whereby the rules and regulations are made very clear. We ourselves has gone through the online training as well as the eSanjeevani OPD, which is said that the stay home OPD, courtesy Sarathi 104 services. And what we come to know after these trainings, that telemedicine is no different from that in-person consultations that we are very familiar with. Rules are almost same in both. In case of first-time consultations, there are certain issues too. Like for example, while prescribing any medications, we often need physical examination findings as well as laboratory investigation reports. For that, what telemedicine is saying, that we can ask the patients to have a consultation with locally available physician, and they can share their findings through WhatsApp images. And after going through that, the subsequent follow-ups becomes easier to carry on. In case of psychiatry, of course, there are restrictions of prescribing certain medications, but when we come to the current scenario, what we are trying to do through this platform is basically the service of telepsychology. And we are targeting those who are isolated, those who are quarantined, and that can be very easily done through these teleconsultation services. Here, I'd like to share one example. One of our colleagues as a frontline health worker who, after doing duties in isolation ward for a week, went for a fortnight's quarantine, who had an interview with one of the psychologists. And what the conversation was is something very enlightening to all of us. First, when the duty roster came up, the frontline health worker, instead of directly saying to the family members, first introspected by self. He first questioned himself the chances of getting infected by taking care of a patient. Even if infected, developing symptoms, again the chances are less. Then being a healthy young person, the mortality and morbidity is again less. Once assured of self, he shared the same with the family members, taking them into confidence. Thereafter, he went to the work. There, not only maintaining one's own safety measures, he shared the knowledge with the staff as well as the patients, so developed a cordial atmosphere in the ward. And later on, when he came out and went for the fortnight's quarantine, he said to himself, having a 7-month-old baby, he had less sleep for last few months. Moreover, in last 2 years, he has bought 7 books. And because of the busy schedule in the medical profession, he couldn't go through them. Now he finds this quarantine time as something where he can sleep well as well as read all those books. That has been quite enlightening, not only for the common people, but even for professionals like us. In the guideline that is prepared for this teleconsultation service, if you go by the flowchart, the client or the service user will contact the service provider through telephone, text, video. Then first we need to screen out, because we are aware that any kind of mental and behavioral symptoms can be secondary to another medical condition. If we get such signs and symptoms, we convert it to other services. There are other services provided by our professionals, medical professionals from different departments, so they will go for referral service. And those having only the psychological problems, we consider that they are calling us is an implied consent. Moreover, it is important that we tell them that these voice conversations that we will be having, or the text or the video chats, will be recorded. It may be for clinical as well as for research purposes. That is important to disclose in the very beginning. And after that, we go through a quick assessment and try to identify what are the problems and decide on the management accordingly. And in this management, the practice guideline for telemedicine can be a helpful one. As well, we should have in hand the resources and the helplines that are available. Moreover, as the concept says, we'll check the gatekeeper. We need to keep our own mental health healthy to deliver efficient services. For that, not only conveying the message to the service users, it is equally applicable to service providers as well. How to maintain a positive mental health? That is by seeking help from another person or obtaining information only from the authentic sources, keeping away from some stimulating videos like in YouTube or WhatsApp. There are different sources where we can get authentic information, and it is evidence-based that once we have factual information, that can have a good psychological makeup, a soothing effect. So we try to obtain information only from authentic sources, and at times we may have to confront to maintain our stand. These days we are saying that washing of hands, maintaining social distancing, lockdown are something very essential, and sometimes we may have to confront and try to change others' behavior to comply with the necessary norms that society should follow. Moreover, it is very important that we first plan how to solve a problem and then try to execute them one after the other. Moreover, we as well as the service users need to ventilate one's emotion in this stressful situation where confinement is leading to the stress. We need to ventilate our emotions as well as try to evaluate the problem. There are certain things we can change that we need to accept, that we need to try to change, and those we cannot change, we have to accept them, because there are certain rules to keep the society healthy. Those rules we have to follow, and the things that we can change in our own behavior, that we should try. Then avoiding, as I have told, some stimulating videos like YouTube, WhatsApp, we need to avoid to keep ourselves calm, as well as provide the same advice to the service users. And our religious textbooks are repeatedly saying that we need to have a positive reappraisal. Whatever is happening is for something good. Losing something maybe for an opportunity to gain something else. The example of the healthcare professional that we have shared a little while ago, that this quarantine period can be a time for good sleep, reading books, etc. So these are certain numbers that we need to know to share with others, as well as the authentic sources like the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare Government of India website, then Indian Council of Medical Research website. And for health information, the Center for Disease Control is a good source, and for research related work, National Institute of Health website can be very useful. Thank you.